Good day everybody, welcome back to After Hours the Trip. Today I want to talk to you about the acronym survival. SURVIVAL, survival. The different letters stands for S, size up the situation. U, undue haste makes waste. There are other people who use the U as in use all your senses. Look around you. What can you hear? What can you smell? That type of thing. But for this, I'll just go with the undue haste makes waste. That's what my notes are around. R, remember where you are. The first V, vanquish fear and panic. I, improvise. The second V, value living. A, act like the natives. And lastly, L, learn basic skills. Sorry, just some noise in the background. Okay, so let's break these up. S, size up the situation. What do I mean by that? Consider your physical condition and perform any first aid that might be required. Concentrate on your senses, concentrate your senses on getting a feel for the area. 3. Conduct an inventory of the equipment you have. 4. Begin planning. As we all know, you can't move forward unless you have a plan on what you're about to do. U, undue haste makes waste. Reacting without thinking or planning can result in faulty decisions and could result in your death. Acting in haste, just for the sake of action, will make you careless. The natural tendency in a stressful situation is to run. You must overcome this tendency and think of your objectives. If I can add to this, many other videos that I've viewed on YouTube, when they talk about the active shooter situation inside a building, when a firearm goes off inside a building, it echoes against the walls from all sides, so you don't know which side the shot is coming from, so you don't just want to run. That's when you want to hang 10, look around, and then run to a safer area. Because if you just run, you might be running into an active shooter situation. So that's what that's all about. If you act in haste, you may lose or forget equipment. You may not make a survival plan, and you may become disorientated and not know your location. As a cultural group, this was written for Americans, but I'm just going to use people in general. have little patience. Know this weakness if it's your own particular Achilles heel. In other words, if you know that's your weak point, work on that. R. Remember where you are. Always knowing where you are on the map and how it relates to the surrounding terrain is a principle no outdoorsman should violate. If in a group, always know the location of the maps and the compasses. In other words, if you're working in a group, know which member has the compass and maps. In case that person in case that person is injured, you might want to take over instead of wondering instead of bumbling around, take an active decision. Guard against the natural tendency of allowing someone else to be responsible for navigation. Always be aware of your route, regardless of the mode of travel. Once again, this comes down to communication and discussing amongst each other. One person might be responsible for the leading, but it doesn't mean that person needs to know solely what's happening. When you take a rest, get together as a group, lay out the maps, compasses, and decide, okay, this is where we are, this is where we're going, that's the objective that we need to take. Whether you're in a base camp or on the move, you should always know the following things: the direction or location of the nearest populated area, direction or location of the nearest major transportation artery, i.e. rivers, highways, railroad tracks, etc. And finally, the location of a local water source. V. Vanquish fear and panic. Fear and panic are two of the greatest enemies in a survival situation. These are not unusual emotions. I repeat, these are not unusual emotions. The secret is to recognize them and control them. Fear, panic, and anxiety take the toll on the body. They divert needed energy. Many people have never been alone and without diversion. This could subject them to anxiety. In other words, some people rely on other people to be around them, and therefore they don't know how to act alone, and that causes them to panic. Also, they basically have everything given to them in a situation to situation scenario. You need to be able to take one situation and diversify your thought pattern around that. The best way to control fear in a survival situation is preparation, prior planning, and training. Now, in my previous videos, I've mentioned many times, get your preparation done ahead of time, not when a survival situation is imminent. I. Improvise. Take the wrong tool and do the right job. Now, what do I mean by that? How many times have you taken a normal butter knife and used that as a flat screwdriver or flathead screwdriver? It's wrong too, but you still get the job done. That's just one example. Elastic bands. How many uses does it have? Google it. You'll be surprised. The same with paper clips or duct tape. I've once, out of necessity, used plain office supplies. Binders like these. Can I get a decent... I can't really get focus on it, but you know what I mean. These file binders and a piece of plastic and some medium-sized paper clips. Only those three things, office supplies. And I crafted my own teaspoon. Make an object do more than one job. Basically just what I've explained. The second V, value living. The will to survive, to endure, to live is key to survival. Maintaining a positive mental outlook and a desire to live will allow an individual to overcome tremendous odds. A. Act like the natives. Many situations we would let me restart. Many situations that we, as the general populace, would consider to be survival situations are dealt with on a daily basis by primitive people all over the world. To them, these situations are a way of life and hold no specific danger. You can read about these people and your own ancestors. They survived in a world without electricity, stores, or fast food. You can do that as well. Then finally, L. Learn basic skills. Once again, the same thing I've repeated in my previous videos. Learn to put together a survival kit that will meet your specific needs and probable survival situations. Learn to use the survival kit. Now, I've done a video like that previously. You can go through my videos. Something that I've put together in a situation that I've prepared for. But it's not always beneficial to just have it. You must learn how to use it. Otherwise, it's of no use to you. Learn to make fire in different environments with different materials. There are tremendous amounts of ways of making fire. I've got my fire starter kit video that I've also put together in a video, and also I've got a list of probably 13 top of mind different ways to make fire. Now, I'm not talking about the normal things like rubbing sticks together or that type of thing. I'm talking about above and beyond, using lipstick, using pool chlorine, using brake fluid, using potassium nitrate. Like I said, above and beyond. Learn to build shelter from natural materials. You might not always have a tent or living accommodation nearby. Learn to find and purify water. Learn first aid and the treatment of most common survival dangers such as insect stings, snake bite, climate injuries, etc. Concentrate on doing as opposed to knowing. Many people know how to build a fire, but cannot build a fire in a rainstorm. This is the fine line between surviving or dying. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you feel somebody else can benefit from it, please share. If you have any ideas to add, you are free to welcome. Free to welcome. Free to comment. Keep it decent though. And as always, enjoy and stay safe.